Have you ever wondered why some people remain unshakable in the face of chaos, while others crumble at the slightest challenge? The secret lies not in denying emotions, but in mastering them with quiet strength and clarity. Discover how you too can cultivate an unbreakable calm at any moment. 10 powerful ways to stay calm always. Mastering emotions stoically, compiled and published by Stoic ruler. Lesson 1. Breathe before the storm hits. Imagine the world as a wild sky darkening with thunder, winds swirling, branches thrashing in the chaos. In that heart-stopping silence before the downpour, a single breath can feel like a lifeline, a quiet anchor in the coming wave of noise. So many of us live on edge, coiled and waiting for the next crisis, never realizing that storms are inevitable and that we cannot always control their arrival. What we can shape, however, is how we greet these storms. Not as panicked souls flung about by fate, but as silent archers poised to meet the challenge. With each challenge, fear dances on the edge of our awareness, tensions simmering beneath the surface, daring us to react without thought or direction. The internal storm, anger, fear, frustration, knows exactly when to swell, pulling us into emotional tempests that can undo our calm and unravel our intentions in moments. All around us, people are caught in the current. They confess to feeling hijacked by their own reactions, as if an invisible hand seizes the wheel at the worst moments. A harsh word from a colleague, the buzz of terrible news, that familiar pressure rising in the chest. Our culture celebrates being quick on the trigger, but this constant readiness leaves us brittle and worn. We misunderstand strength when we equate it with forceful action or outward calm, while within, we spiral out of control. The first overlooked casualty is our peace, the real cost, a life dictated not by will, but by reflex. The transformative solution begins with the subtlest act, a single conscious breath. This is not merely inhaling and exhaling, but a potent pause, a deliberate act of recognition before response. In this needled moment, before anger roars or panic spreads, a measured breath becomes both shield and invitation, holding power to temper chaos. Breathing before the storm is a timeless art. The Stoics understood that true impact and unshakable strength are rooted in this simple mastery. It is the space a wise archer takes, adjusting aim before loosing the arrow, the pause a sailor holds, reading the wind before shifting the sail. By training yourself to breathe deeply at the first sign of emotional tumult, you create space, allowing the mind to see, assess, and respond wisely rather than lash out blindly. Imagine what changes when you adopt this habit. No longer are you carried away. Instead, you become the silent stoic at the center of every tempest. This practice is ancient, bearing the mark of old wisdom, but alive each time you remember. Discipline begins with breath. It allows the fire within you to burn steady, unmoved by gusts, unfazed by rain. Each breath before reaction is a promise to yourself that you have the power to choose, that fear and anger must wait their turn. In training your mind in this way, you set the foundation for a life that attracts peace, radiates strength, and cannot be defeated by momentary storms. The storm may come, but with each breath, you become master of your response, and thus master of your fate. Begin right now by pausing before you react, drawing in a slow and deep breath, feeling tension ease as clarity unfolds. Practicing this daily in small moments of stress will help you reset your composure, turning anxiety into calm strength. Embrace each breath as an act of self-command, a quiet edge over turmoil. Start practicing and notice how pressures shrink, power grows, and you become more composed each day. Next, we'll discover how to anchor yourself with inner stillness, building upon this calm foundation. Share your experiences in the comments. Let us know how this works for you, and subscribe for the next vital lesson from Stoic ruler. Lesson 2. Anchor yourself with inner stillness. Picture the surface of a great mountain lake just as dawn slips over the horizon. No wind stirs, no creature disturbs. The water lies smooth as polished glass, every detail above mirrored below in perfect calm. This image is more than beauty. It is a living metaphor for the power one can carry inside, a steady anchor when storms threaten to pull us far from our center. Life, for most of us, rarely mirrors still water for long. Far more often, our days feel like ships tossed by unpredictable tides and cross currents. inner landscapes ruffled by every outside disturbance. How quickly we can feel overwhelmed, triggered by the smallest slights or the random surges of anxiety that seem to have no cause. Our efforts at maintaining poise often collapse with a single unwelcome word, an unresolved worry late at night, or that exhausting sense of being untethered amidst all the noise and pressure. It's easy to blame circumstances, to say, if only things would slow down, then I could feel balanced. Yet the secret is not in rearranging life's outer world, but in fortifying our inner one. This is the familiar but difficult conflict, wanting peace, yet never quite finding the lasting kind, because we search for it everywhere except within ourselves. So many of us yearn to face challenges unshaken, to stop being swept up by fear or drama or doubt, but it often seems beyond reach. The transformative answer may be simpler and more potent than you expect. Begin to treat inner stillness not just as a fleeting mood, but as the anchor on your ship, a safe mooring you carry with you, unmovable and strong. The Stoics spoke of this quality as the essence of power. They teach us that by regularly seeking quietude in the midst of chaos, you cultivate an unbreakable calm, a silent fire that burns within, evident only in the resilience and confidence you display to the world. This does not require you to escape or ignore what troubles you. Instead, it is about returning over and over to a place of gentle steadiness inside, regardless of the swells around you. In practicing this, you train your mind to stand undisturbed, like a boulder resisting the tide, and unlock the ability to respond to setbacks with clarity, intention, and grace. Each moment spent deepening this inner anchor strengthens your discipline and allows you to become the rare individual who not only weathers adversity, but attracts respect and admiration, even while others are pulled under. Find a quiet moment each day, close your eyes, and picture that undisturbed lake. Breathe slowly until your thoughts settle. Practicing this, you'll build an internal calm, ready to face anything. Let this stillness anchor you amidst chaos. Next, you will learn how to control reactions without suppressing emotions. Subscribe, like, and share your journey in the comments below. Lesson 3. Control reactions, don't suppress emotions. Think of emotions as a river in spring, snowmelt coming down strong. Sometimes the waters rush wild, sculpting canyons and tumbling obstacles in their path. And sometimes the current is gentle, a soft and nourishing flow. We stand on the banks, watching the shifting waters, unsure whether to build barriers, attempt to dam the force, or simply let ourselves be swept away. Inside each of us, there is a lively conflict, the urge to appear strong by bottling up discomfort, or the habit of letting reactions spill out freely, often leading to regret or misunderstanding. When frustration, jealousy, or fear surge up, our instinct is usually to clamp down, hiding our feelings, convinced that stoicism means silence, and endurance means pretending nothing stirs beneath the surface. Yet, the truth is far more subtle and liberating. Suppressing our emotions creates pressure deep inside us, a pressure that can grow quietly over time and erupt when we least expect it. Think about times when faced with criticism or disappointment, you bit back words, forced yourself to smile, or tucked away pain to keep up appearances. At first, these are small sacrifices, but over days and weeks, those swallowed emotions can make us brittle, anxious, or even numb. The other path is equally unsteady, acting on every emotion as it comes, like a sailor turning the rudder with every wave. This might feel honest, but it often leads us far from our chosen direction, leaving relationships strained and inner peace shattered. The solution, both timeless and profoundly practical, is learning to gently witness emotions as they arise, acknowledging their presence without either denying or dramatizing them. Like the archer controlling breath and concentration before releasing the arrow, you can pause and notice each emotion, examining its nature and roots. This does not mean surrendering to every feeling or suppressing the tide. Rather, it asks us to be present, honest, and compassionate with what arises. Over time, this gentle attention transforms chaotic reactions into informed responses. You move from being a captive of habit to the silent ruler within, quietly powerful and clear-eyed. In this practice, emotions become messages to understand, not threats to evade or floods to resist. As you strengthen this discipline, you will notice a profound shift. Your energy is conserved for things that truly matter. Relationships gain new depth and honesty, and fear loses much of its grip. This old wisdom, still alive today, becomes your foundation for confidence and genuine peace. No longer overshadowed by reaction, but illuminated by mindful control. When emotion rises, pause, name what you feel, and ask yourself why. Breathe, observe, and choose a response instead of reacting. Through practice, you'll see your confidence and calmness deepen as relationships grow richer and self-control becomes second nature. In the next lesson, you will discover the power in choosing response over impulse. Like, comment, and subscribe for more wisdom from Stoic Ruler. Lesson 4. Choose response over immediate impulse. Imagine walking through a dense fog, each step silent and heavy, the world beyond your reach shrouded in mystery. Suddenly, a distant light appears, flickering and beckoning. This is the gap between impulse and deliberate response, a spark that offers direction in the uncertain mist. In the daily theater of life, we are perpetually nudged and prodded, jolted by unexpected words or setbacks, constantly invited to act on reflex. Yet within each heart, a silent struggle brews, the urge to speak before listening, the compulsion to defend before understanding, or the old pattern of reacting on instinct rather than choosing with intention. We know the pain of hasty words and sudden decisions all too well. The regret that blooms when we realize we let a fleeting emotion steer the course of our day, or sometimes our relationships. This conflict is familiar to anyone on the journey of emotional mastery. There is an invisible wire strung taut between what happens to us and what we do next. Many live their entire lives as if there is no pause, as if each provocation demands an instant counterattack, raising our voices, dashing off angry messages, or jumping to conclusions. We rush headlong, mistaking speed for strength, and lose sight of our deeper values in the process. How often have you replayed a heated interaction, wishing for a second chance to respond with calm and insight rather than knee-jerk resistance? The inner narrative of blame and self-reproach can linger long after the moment itself has passed. Yet, into this familiar struggle enters the wisdom of the Stoics. The insight that our greatest power always lies in the space between stimulus and response. The transformative solution is deceptively simple. Cultivate the habit of pausing before you act. Picture an archer who draws the bow not in panic, but with careful aim, sighting the true target beyond the temptation of immediate release. That pause is your superpower, an instant of awareness in which you choose not from habit, but from a place of discipline, clarity, and self-respect. When you master this pause, you begin to rewrite your story, one response at a time. You unlock the ability to command your own actions instead of allowing random urges or outside events to dictate your course. Every deliberate choice reinforces your inner strength, the silent, undefeated dignity of one who trains the mind for greatness. The practice may feel old, but its results come alive in transformed interactions, steadier relationships, and a growing confidence that moment by moment, you are becoming the author of your fate. Whenever a strong urge arises, pause, breathe, and ask yourself how you truly wish to respond. Practice this often, and you'll notice stronger confidence, improved relationships, and greater calm, replacing old regrets. Take charge of your choices today for lasting impact. Next, unlock the wisdom of detachment. Comment, like, and subscribe to join the Stoic Ruler community. Lesson 5. Master the Art of Detachment. Picture a towering tree on the wind-swept plains, its roots deep and unyielding, yet its branches move freely with every gust. The tree's strength lies not in resisting the wind, but in accepting it, finding resilience in surrender. This image holds a truth many seek but seldom claim: the art of detachment. At some point, everyone grapples with the ache of needing things to go a certain way, with relationships, outcomes, reputations, or even fleeting moments of joy. Like a ship captain desperate to control every detail of the journey, we steer hard against the current, only to exhaust ourselves while the storm rages on as it must. Inside, the tug-of-war plays out, wanting recognition, fearing disappointment, grasping for comfort or certainty. The stakes feel high, and so the mind clings tighter, believing that holding on equals winning, and detaching means not caring or giving up. This confusion is deeply relatable. Who hasn't felt crushed by failed expectations, wounded by criticism, or anxious when things slip beyond their grasp? The problem is as old as time, and yet in a world that prizes relentless control and never letting go, the pain has only sharpened in modern life. Lost sleep, constant striving, mood swings tied to the opinions of others, all these are signs of a mind caught in the storm, mistaking attachment for strength. Day by day, this habit saps our resilience, leaving us more vulnerable to disappointment and more likely to measure our value by what we accumulate or achieve. Yet, ancient wisdom offers a gentler, undefeated way forward. True detachment is not withdrawal or cold indifference. It's a conscious decision to release your grip on what you cannot control while remaining fully engaged with what truly matters. Like the archer who focuses solely on the perfect release, uncaring for applause or critique, you learn to invest deeply in effort and presence, letting go of results that lie beyond your hands. This kind of emotional distancing does not weaken you. Rather, it turns you into a silent stoic, undisturbed by fickle tides and sudden winds. Detachment unlocks tremendous power. It renders you immune to disappointment, fear, and outside opinion, because your peace comes from within, untouched by circumstance. Practicing detachment gently reshapes your mindset. You become responsive, never reactive, committed but never consumed. The art is ancient, yes, but every moment you release, you grow lighter, clearer, and infinitely more impactful in all areas of life. Notice what you cling to, then gently release your grip. Repeat daily with small disappointments or outcomes. Practice seeing your effort as your reward, not the result. You'll feel lighter, more confident, and impossible to shake. Embrace this change. Next, discover the remarkable strength hidden in silence. Comment, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts with the Stoic Ruler community. Lesson 6. Use silence as your power. Imagine walking alone beneath a midnight sky, stars scattered like distant torches, the world hushed around you. In that deep and endless quiet, every heartbeat feels magnified, each breath sacred. This is the domain of silence. Not emptiness, but potent space where everything that matters takes form. In our everyday lives, however, such silence feels rare. Life is filled with chatter, beeps, interruptions, 1,000 voices pulling our attention to the surface. We are conditioned to fill every pause, to answer quickly, defend ourselves, explain away the quiet, and drown discomfort under words. Often beneath the noise there's a conflict, both ancient and universal. The fear that if we are silent, we might be overlooked, misunderstood, or thought weak. Yet, by always rushing to speak, we rob ourselves of the very power we seek. How often have you replayed a conversation, feeling you said too much or not enough, wishing you had chosen your words more carefully? In heated moments or challenging meetings, impulse drives us to fill each gap, mistaking noise for control. The trouble is, this never pauses long enough for wisdom to surface. We risk misunderstandings and regrets, and we leave very little room for real listening, genuine understanding, or true growth. When silence is uncomfortable, the habit is to break it, but in doing so, we give up the impact that only intentional presence can offer. The change begins by reframing silence itself. Instead of seeing it as empty or passive, start regarding it as a place of immense strength, where restraint becomes a superpower. For the Stoic, silence is not a lack of courage. It is the discipline and impact of the silent Stoic, the one who rules from within. Silence functions as an internal reset, a place where your words gain both weight and clarity because they're not spent carelessly. When you hold your silence, even amid pressure, you are like the archer waiting for stillness before releasing the arrow, or the sailor who listens for the wind's true direction before hoisting the sails. Choices become clearer, and your influence grows naturally. Thoughtful silence is alive. It allows others to reveal who they truly are, and it gives an edge to your own voice, making your presence felt, even when you say nothing. To master silence is to discover the fire burning steady beneath the calm, undefeatable, disciplined, and quietly unforgettable. By choosing moments of silence, you unlock patience, calm, and an attractive strength that draws others to your grounded presence, all while training your mind to lead rather than follow the noise. Practice holding back your response for a few seconds during conversations. and let silence provide space for thought. You'll soon notice greater control, deeper understanding, and increased respect from others. Lean into the strength of silence today. Up next, discover how to stand unshaken in chaos. Like, subscribe, and share how silence empowers you with the Stoic ruler community. Lesson 7. Stand unshaken in chaos. In the heart of a wild storm, there can exist the most powerful calm. A lighthouse standing strong against the crashing waves, its light unwavering while the sea and sky collide. This is not an absence of trouble, but a silent certainty in the midst of disorder, and it mirrors what so many of us yearn for deep down. A way to stand firm when life's tempests swirl around us. We all face moments when our surroundings seem to erupt in noise and confusion. A heated argument at home, sudden shifts at work, a world spinning with uncertainty and change. Within, a familiar struggle returns. Will I get swept up by panic and frustration, or will I hold steady and remember who I want to be? In the moment, composure feels almost impossible to maintain. The pressure to react pulls at us with invisible hands, making it seem like we must either join the chaos or be crushed by it. This is a universal pain point. When tested, even the most determined people can find old fears and doubts quickly rising to the surface. It's easy to think that staying composed means pretending nothing affects you or refusing to care. But masking your struggles or denying your fear only strengthens chaos's grip, forcing you to burn energy simply trying to hide what you really feel. Instead, those who master their emotions understand that the strongest calm comes not from denial, but from the decision to respond with grounded intention, choosing to become a silent stoic, a steady presence rather than a frantic limb in the storm's dance. The solution, though challenging, is empowering. Make a conscious effort to cultivate stillness within, no matter the noise outside. It is like the seasoned archer who listens only for his own breath before shooting, or the ship's captain who reads the stars rather than the swirling waves. This inner fortitude does not mean detachment from reality, but a remarkable clarity in the center of the storm, an active choice to pause, breathe, and anchor your attention to what endures, not to what is fleeting. As you build this discipline, the fire inside you no longer flares with each gust, but burns low and steady, illuminating your path when others are blinded. Adopting this stoic perspective means you lead with poise, inspire those in your presence, and remain undefeated even as life's circumstances shift around you. The outer storm continues, but your inner world grows unshakable, radiating an attractive power that no chaos can ever conquer. When chaos erupts, pause to ground yourself with slow, deep breaths and focus on what you can influence right now. Practice this in daily situations, and you'll notice greater resilience, clearer decision-making, and enduring self-control. Begin this steady practice now. Next, discover how logic, not drama, leads your actions. Like, subscribe, and share your journey with the Stoic ruler community. Lesson 8. Let logic lead, not drama. Picture a ship sailing on the open sea under a brooding sky. The waves swell and break, tossing the vessel with wild unpredictability. Yet the wise captain stands at the helm, eyes fixed on the compass, steering by the surety of the stars above. Unmoved by roaring winds, trusting not the mood of the water, but the order of logic to bring the vessel safely home. This is the art of letting reason steer you, instead of being swept away by drama. And it is a challenge that greets all of us in one way or another. At some point, emotions surge with the force of a tempest. Relationships ignite with misunderstandings. Egos bruise. Disappointment comes quick and sharp. In the heat of emotion, it's easy to lose perspective, to be pulled off course by anger, jealousy, or despair, acting or speaking in ways we soon regret. Deep inside, the conflict is clear. Will I let this drama dictate my day, or can I stand back and remember the bigger mission? All too often, life rewards the most reactive person in the room with the most attention, the loudest, the most dramatic. Caught up in this noisy current, we're pushed into decisions that do not serve us, the truth clouded and the path forward muddled. This modern world is built on urgency and outrage. Even basic disagreements can spiral, stirring up anxiety and regret long after the crisis has passed. Who hasn't laid awake, replaying an argument? Trapped in the emotional aftermath, or felt their peace destroyed by pointless drama at work, at home, or online. This pain, this common trap, has always plagued those seeking self-mastery. But the solution isn't to abandon emotion or build walls of coldness. The Stoics teach that true command is found in letting clear logic, not the rush of drama, guide our ships. Begin by turning your attention to reason, not in battle with the heart, but as its calm and steady leader. When challenges arise, ask yourself, what is true here? What outcome do I truly want? What actions would serve my deeper goals, not just my immediate feelings? With this mindset, logic becomes your compass, setting your course gently and powerfully through the noise. Old impulses begin to lose their edge. Moments of anger or confusion become points of learning, not traps. The more you engage this practice, the more you find within yourself a kind of quiet authority, an inner fire that withstands passing tempests. You learn to shine with a light that isn't blown about by every gust, drawing others toward your presence and steadily unlocking the silent Stoic within. With time, your mind grows sharp and disciplined, leaving you not only undefeated but also more connected, understanding, and ready for whatever journey life presents. When drama strikes, take a breath. Step back and clearly ask yourself what the facts are and what outcome truly matters. Each time you shift from reactivity to reason, you build clarity and control. Start applying this lens today. Next, you'll discover how to train calmness like a muscle. Subscribe, like, and share your thoughts with Stoic Ruler. Lesson 9. Train calmness like a muscle. Visualize an ancient blacksmith at his forge, quietly shaping a blade in the heart of a roaring fire. He does not rush, though sparks leap and iron clangs around him. His hands are steady, movements practiced. Through sweat and repetition, the metal yields to his will. Strength forged not in absence of heat, but because of it. In a world that often feels like such a furnace, where conflicts flare, deadlines press, and unexpected blows threaten to break our composure, calmness can seem as elusive as cold steel and fire. Every person can relate to that trembling uncertainty, moments when anger flashes, worry builds, or panic tugs at the edges of reason. Inside, there's a common conflict. Why does peace desert me when I need it most? Why does anxiety return just when I vow to remain steady? The lived reality is that most people treat calmness as a trait, something fixed, gifted to the lucky or the naturally mild. In truth, calmness is a skill, not a gift. Under pressure, it withers if not tended. The real pain point surfaces in daily frustrations, the rush of traffic that jolts your mood, the sharp criticism that unsettles your confidence, the avalanche of tasks that sets your heart pounding. The mind, left untrained, reverts to panic, judgment, or defensiveness. Our emotions, like unpracticed muscles, cramp and ache under even moderate stress. Many people unintentionally reinforce this by telling themselves they can't help it, or just aren't the calm type, resigning themselves to a life controlled by outside events. But the ancient wisdom, alive in every practice discipline, declares otherwise. Calmness can be built up, strengthened every day, trained and sharpened like the blacksmith's blade or the archer's focus. This transformative solution is accessible to all. Treat calmness as a muscle. Each small test, waiting in line, hearing critique, facing an unexpected crisis, is an opportunity for practice. With every conscious breath taken in the fire, every pause before reaction, you add a layer of resilience to your being. In time, you will discover a hardened steadiness within, a silent fire that does not burn out with adversity but glows brighter, lighting your path and setting you apart from those who are swept away by stress. Embracing this concept means you no longer view setbacks and irritations as threats, but as trainers, helping you become undefeated. Calmness becomes attractive because it's so rare and so obviously developed. Your mind, once a battlefield, transforms into a place of power. Disciplined, strong, and free to meet any storm with the clarity and dignity of one who has trained well. Deliberately practice calm reactions in small daily stressors. Pause, breathe, and observe before responding. Each repetition builds quiet inner strength that soon shows in grace under greater pressure. The more you train, the stronger and more magnetic your calm becomes. Prepare to refine this power further, as our next lesson explores the art of reflecting and returning to deep peace. Subscribe and share your breakthroughs with Stoic Ruler. Lesson 10. Reflect, refine, return to peace. Imagine standing beside a tranquil pond at dusk, where the slightest ripple sends ever-widening circles across the mirrored surface, and each wave gradually returns to stillness, restoring the pond to perfect calm. In this quiet evening air, there is clarity. Every disturbance that passed, every movement stilled, every reflection now visible. In life, this serenity can feel distant, especially after days that surge and break with intensity. Many people finish their day forever caught in past stresses, disappointments replayed, regrets held tightly, and worries nagging into the night. There is a universal longing inside every disciplined mind, a yearning for closure, integration, true and lasting peace, but it so often seems just beyond reach. This conflict is familiar to anyone striving for growth and self-mastery. Perhaps you've managed to stay calm through chaos, made progress in discipline, and even pause before reacting in anger. But at the end of the day, a restless mind keeps your victories out of focus. Thoughts of what should have gone differently, anxieties about tomorrow, and the strain of never feeling enough gather around, robbing the spirit of its earned rest. It's this subtle but exhausting sense of incompleteness, a sensation that no matter how hard you try, tranquility remains a fleeting visitor. These inner struggles often compound, leaving us feeling unfulfilled, anxious, and disconnected from the contentment we sought through all our efforts to master emotion. Yet, the path through this is both timeless and deeply accessible. Reflection is not simply dwelling on mistakes or replaying dramas. It is an intentional practice of mindful review. The Stoics understood this as essential, a practice that polishes wisdom, clarifies intention, and steadily unlocks lasting inner peace. Imagine the archer at sunset, examining each arrow and learning for the next day, or the ship's captain, cross-checking the map after a storm to set a truer course. This reflective habit allows you to calmly observe each event and emotion as a lesson, without condemnation or dread. The magic occurs when you take time to pause each evening, to notice where you stood tall, where you faltered, and how you can cultivate steadiness tomorrow. Every night becomes a soft reset, where setbacks are transformed into guides, and small wins, often overlooked, become your true foundation. When refined with kindness, this nightly ritual gradually smooths the rough, sharp edges left by the world's storms. By embracing reflection in this gentle, honest way, you end the relentless cycle of unrest. You grow in self-awareness and self-compassion, steady yourself against the unexpected, and steadily return to a place of unshakable peace. The air of discipline you build each night reverberates into the morning, helping you attract not only calmness, but also deep admiration and trust from others. The journey is never truly finished, but with each day you meet the silent Stoic within and return, again and again, to still waters. Each night, review your day calmly. Notice moments you handled well and those that need refinement. Breathe deeply and congratulate your progress, setting one small goal for tomorrow. This nightly practice builds wisdom, humility, and a deeper peace that endures. Start tonight. Let your reflection be a gentle guide and watch your inner mastery continually grow, day after day. You've discovered timeless strategies to master your emotions, build calm, and live with unwavering inner strength. Thank you for joining this journey toward a more disciplined and peaceful life. If you found these lessons valuable, please like, comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the Stoic Ruler channel for more inspiration.